What's up, everybody? I'm Simon Sabro, and today I got for y'all some tips to either start or grow your manga collection. So before we jump into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Simon Sabro YT. The link will always be down in the description. Also, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss an upload, all that good stuff, and comment down what was your first manga, whether it's the first manga you read, first manga you bought, whatever it is. Just comment down what's the first manga that you maybe experienced or whatever. But with all that out the way, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so the first couple of tips I got for y'all is budgeting and researching alternative prices, as well as just where to find other stuff. Maybe you might be able to find it cheaper or whatever. So really this comes down to what you're buying in general. If it's like, say, a regular Shonen Jump like Black Torch here, for example, you could kind of, I want to say it's available everywhere really, as opposed to like iShield 21 here, which is an out of print manga. So if you're searching for like a manga you could find at really any retail store, then I would definitely recommend probably Right Stuff Anime to check out first if they have it in stock, because they usually do have the better prices compared to other retailers. Also, another one is Amazon to check out for that, of course. But really, like I said, just fish around for other prices. If maybe you're more interested in going to a local bookstore to buy stuff, then go there. But really just check out other prices, and please do not go over your budget. Let's say you are searching for a rare manga. Let's take Ice Shield for example. Make sure you just find the best price you could possibly find, even if maybe, let's say your budget is like 500 and maybe you find it 400 or 500. I would probably still even recommend trying to go lower than that, because if you could get it lower, why not get it lower? Another piece of advice would be to keep your shelf space in mind, because one thing you don't want to do is just buy a bunch of manga and you can't even display it on your bookshelf. That's another, it's very minor, but it's something you could easily forget. Even I forget it too. If you were to watch my recent manga collection video, you would see I'm really kind of already out of shelf space, and the third bookshelf I did recently just buy, and it's something you don't want to have to keep dealing with it. Of course, maybe if you already have some manga, maybe you don't like the manga, you could always just sell it, or give it away, whatever you want to do, so you could create that shelf space. But another thing regarding shelf space is box sets. And when talking about box sets, one thing to really keep in mind would be whether you want to go with the box sets or singles. I personally don't really own any box sets, but I do want to get some to clear up some shelf space. For example, like the Bleach box set, so I can get these volumes off of the shelf, maybe put another series there or whatever. But the thing with box sets is that it is a kind of a big investment to buy, because you are spending about $200 outright. It does come out cheaper than just buying all the individual singles, but buying the singles, say let's take the My Hero box set that's, I think it just came out or is about to come out. It's volumes 1 through 20, and I think it's on Amazon right now for $160, which is a really good price compared to if you were to buy all of the singles. But buying volumes 1 through 20 in singles over the span of like 2 years or so, you are spending more money, but it's broken up way more, so it's a little more affordable. So that's something you definitely want to look into. Another thing you can do, if say you've already bought all of the singles, you can go to certain groups, maybe like on Facebook Marketplace, r/manga swap. You might be able to find somebody who's selling just the box, not the manga. So that's another thing you can look into. Once again, it'll help you save some shelf space. Now, another piece of advice, and it's kind of goes back to what I was saying before, but I would say, like, if you're especially starting out, do not buy rare manga, because for the price you're paying for it, it's not really worth it. I understand that there are some rare manga that might be your favorite series, and that's perfectly fine, but for starting out, I would say, for me personally, I would recommend having more different series as opposed to just one really long series. And that goes into another piece of advice: start with shorter series. Once again, take Black Torch here, it's only 5 volumes, as opposed to Siren here, which is 16 volumes. And it just comes down to what you prefer. Personally, I would, like I said, much rather have just an abundance of different series than just one really long series. And I know some people's favorite manga might be like One Piece, which is about, I want to say it's 100 volumes out right now. But even with that, I would recommend probably start with some smaller series. Just get yourself into, you know, reading physical manga or whatever, really. So just kind of going with that. Another piece of advice, it's pretty obvious, but don't buy manga you don't like, of course. But you could kind of easily forget it or just get, you know, swept up in the process of buying manga. And I'll be honest, it does become pretty addicting just going to the bookstore, just buying whatever looks cool. I tend to do that a lot. There's a lot of series on my shelf I bought simply because it just looks cool. But I know my taste and genre to where it's like, okay, I'll read the back of the book and I'll be like, yeah, this is something I'm interested in. But there are still some manga I get probably from recommendations from a lot of y'all that I'll read. Maybe I won't exactly enjoy it, but I'll still check it out. But that's just me personally. For someone starting out, I wouldn't really recommend doing that. Unless you're just a gambler, then that's fine. But I'd really recommend starting with maybe your favorite series. Let's say you like a series like Death Note, for example. Then you would start out by maybe Death Note in the black editions, because that's, or the box set, however you want to buy Death Note. And then kind of go off into series that are similar to Death Note. You could find, another thing I like to do, if I find a series I like, then I'll kind of just go into anything else that mangaka has also created. For instance, start with Death Note, then you like Bakuman, then you like maybe All You Need Is Kill or Platinum End, etc., and just kind of go on from there. That's a really nice way to kind of grow your collection, just because you know it's by an artist you're familiar with, so you're more likely to enjoy that series or that piece of work that they put out. Now, even though I said don't buy manga you don't like, don't be afraid to like try out new genres. So once again, let's say you're into Death Note and stuff, then don't be afraid to try out something like, for example, Call of the Night back here, which is a bit of a rom-com kind of gag manga kind of thing. It's been pretty good recently, but that's not what we're talking about. But once again, yeah, just don't be afraid to try out different series. Another one kind of going off of that is, if let's say you watch an anime that you really enjoy, don't be afraid to check out the manga. An example would be like Kaguya-sama Love is War. I know the recent season 3 did just start. So be sure to, you know, if you enjoy it and maybe the season ends on like a cliffhanger, don't be afraid to check out the manga. Another example of that would be Spy Family. I know a lot of people love Spy Family right now. So now would be a pretty good time to check out the manga. Also, don't fall into FOMO, fear of missing out. So I don't know how much of an issue that has been recently with manga being scalped and just out of stock everywhere, because at my bookstores I've seen them in stock pretty consistently, such as like Spy Family, Chainsaw Man, JJK, etc. I've seen those pretty in stock. I don't know if it's been like that recently anywhere else, but don't fall for scalpers, which are just people that will buy manga in bulk and just sell them on eBay for absurd prices. Don't fall for it. If you have to wait for a manga, just wait for the manga. There's nothing wrong with having to wait. Or find maybe an alternative to read it, maybe borrow a friend's, etc., whatever. But don't overspend on manga, especially if it's a manga that's definitely going to be coming back in stock. One thing that can happen is while you're collecting manga, you kind of just run out of things to collect. So I would definitely recommend, you know, being in a community so that you could talk to other people that collect manga. I'm personally not in any communities. I just watch a lot of other manga tubers, which really keeps me informed on what's coming out, what's good, what's not good, what to look out for, things like that. So if maybe you're a little shy of communities or whatever, then definitely check out a lot of other manga tubers, because a lot of them are really good and really interesting to watch, and they could give you some crazy recommendations that you've probably never even heard of. Now, that's kind of all of the tips I had. Just one more thing though, I do have 2 videos, one where I recommend manga for beginners. So if you're having a hard time, you know, picking a series to start with, definitely check out that video. And I do also have another video talking about where to buy manga for good prices. So be sure to check out those 2 videos. I'll leave links to those down in the description as well as at the end screen. So once again, be sure to check those out if you're interested. But that's really all from me. Hopefully these tips helped you, like I said, start or grow your manga collection. And once again, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss an upload, and to stay connected for more manga related content. But once again, that's all from me. This is Simon Savro signing out. I catch you on the next one.